What is up, podcasting world? I am back again. This is another episode of Around the Point, but more importantly, this is your WWE Clash of Champions 2019 pay-per-view review, my overall thoughts. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. And share it throughout your entire social media platforms. I'm going to be very honest. I was planning on doing this tomorrow. Because I don't know if you can tell or not. I'm not really sure. And I don't want this to come off like, oh, you're making an excuse and shit like that. But I'm tired as fuck. Fun fact. Throughout the show, I was falling asleep. Not because, oh my god, I thought this show was boring. I had a lot of things going on today. And fun little fact, today was my day off from work. And usually when it's my day off, I try to get my sleep in. I really do. I can't even remember the last time I had like that good sleep, if you will. I can't. I already am accustomed to getting up early in the morning as it is, that even on my days off, just can't help it. Welcome to adulthood, motherfuckers. Anyway, I thought this show overall was okay. Nothing memorable. There's some stuff that I did enjoy. But more importantly, who's ready to go to hell? Show of hands. Show of fucking hands. Why the fuck not? Every title was on the line. And there was rumors going around early in the night, or early in the day for that matter, that Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan were going to go on last. I don't know who made that up. But when I heard that, I started laughing. I really did. Started laughing. But anyway, guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter and give me your thoughts and all that fun stuff on the pay-per-view itself, or if not in the comment threads of this video, let it be done on Twitter at HeelSteven. Use the hashtag ATPoint that you see on the bottom right of the video overlay. Clash of Champions took place tonight from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're talking Flair country. And the show kicked off with the kickoff. And by the way, I did watch the kickoff show. I did. We started off with a triple threat for the Cruiserweight Championship. We had Drew Gulak defending the championship versus Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado from Lucha House Party. I thought, honestly, it was a very cool match. To be honest, you know, granted, let's be real about it. WWE doesn't give a shit about the Cruiserweight title. And it's not every day that you will ever hear them put a Cruiserweight title match on the main card. They'll do it here and there. But just be real about it. Their permanent spot on pay-per-views is the kickoff show. And that's never going to change. Now, there's been rumors going around. Apparently, Triple H has alluded that likely 205 Live will be no more. Or we'll see a lot of the 205 Live roster merging into NXT. When you think about it, NXT is moving to 2 hours. Literally this coming Wednesday. So you want to add, I guess, I want to say, you want to, I guess, you know, fill in those 2 hours with a lot of people. So be it. So be it. And honestly, I personally feel that the Cruiserweight Championship, the matches that is, will be more appreciated on a takeover event than it would on the kickoff of a fucking pay-per-view. Especially a filler pay-per-view like Clash of Champions. But nonetheless, I thought this match was pretty good for what they did. There was a spot in this match where I want to say Drew Gulak had Lince Dorado on his shoulders, like for the whole Doomsday Device like maneuver, right? And Humberto Carrillo did a dive outside the ring while Dorado was on Gulak's shoulders. The ending of the match, it looked like Humberto Carrillo was gonna win. It looked like he had to have his match won, be the new champion. He hit the Aztec press. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, on Dorado, and then Gulak literally stole the win. He threw Carrillo into the ring post, and then German suplexed, German suplexed Dorado for the 1-2-3. It looked botched a little bit. Can you hear the referee say the shoulders got to be down, and that's how Gulak retained his championship. And there we go on with that. You know what, though? Again, the idea of having those guys from 205 Live on NXT and potentially some of the NXT guys facing Gulak for the championship, why the fuck not? You know, but nonetheless, I thought this was a good match to kick off, I guess the kickoff show, that is, right? But again, this would be more appreciated on a takeover crowd than it would a crowd like tonight on a kickoff show for a pay-per-view. Speaking of kickoff, what really shocked me, and again, I didn't even know about this, like Big Mike on our Facebook chat that we have, myself, Chase, Mike, and Walter. Apparently, the second match on the kickoff show, this one shocked the fuck out of me. AJ Styles defending the U.S. title versus Cedric Alexander. So let me get this straight, WWE. AJ Styles, right? It's AJ Styles. I don't give a fuck who you are. AJ Styles is AJ Styles, right? Former WWE champion. He's held the U.S. title before in the past, right? In the eyes of a lot of people, oh my God, one of the best performers in that company. And he gets relegated to the kickoff show. But yet Alexa Bliss is on the fucking main card. Let that marinate for a minute, people. Let that fucking marinate. I'll wait. Go ahead. The match was short, and I didn't mind it though, believe it or not, because they gave you this idea that Cedric was going to win. Oh my God, Cedric had like these two big moves, and oh my God, people were in shock. But eventually, Styles, I thought again, he let this match flow very well, make the idea that he was going to lose after taking those two big moves. But eventually, he got the win. He hit I want to say the Phenomenal Forearm, I think it was. Yeah, he hit the Phenomenal Forearm into the Styles Clash for the 1-2-3. And Styles retained. Again, it was like a match that was literally under 5 minutes. And then after that, the other two members of the OC, that being Gallows and Anderson, come out. And they put the boots, along with Styles, onto Cedric Alexander. Keep this in mind. They're in Cedric's hometown. So that whole thing of a wrestler who's wrestling in his hometown is going to lose obviously came true. Not just here in this match, but another match later on in the night on the main card. But I do think, though, that this is not the end of a Styles and Alexander program. I think it's going to continue happening. And nonetheless, I've enjoyed the process of it. I don't think you really needed Cedric to win the belt here. No. I think it will happen. But it's going to be probably at the next pay-per-view, or who knows, maybe on Raw again. Who the fuck knows? But again, I thought overall the match, for as crazy as the idea that Styles on the kickoff show, was fine for the time they were given. Yeah, for some people it was a short match, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, think about this. There was like 12 matches or 11 on this show. God damn it. Okay, we then go on to the main card. We have the tag team title match for the Raw tag team titles to kick off the show. We had Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins defending the Raw tag team titles against the team of Bobby Roode. To me, still Bobby Roode. I don't give a shit. Versus Dolph Ziggler. The match was there, okay? The whole story of this match was, hey, can Rollins and Braun, can they coexist? Because remember, they kept on reminding you throughout the entire match, and even throughout the match, that those two would go on later on in the night to face off for the Universal title. So can these two guys, can they coexist? And they didn't. The match was, again, like I said, it was okay. Good back and forth pacing here. Like, you know what you're gonna expect when you have Rollins get in there and mix it up with someone like Bobby Roode, someone like a Ziggler. You know what to expect already. There's a moment in the match where it's like the ending, right? What literally leads to the end of the match, where Braun, keep this in mind, Braun throughout this match, he does this thing where he runs outside the ring around like full laps and he shoulder blocks everybody, right? And there's a moment in this match where they're all in the ring and he shoulder blocks Bobby Roode. And Bobby Roode, by impact, no pun intended, hits Rollins. So he then goes, that Braun that goes out to chase Ziggler, and Ziggler pulls the top rope, which then leads to Bobby Roode, to hit the glorious DDT on the Seth Rollins, and Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, whatever the fuck you want to call him, pins the Universal Champion Seth Rollins. Look at this clear. No, it's not happening. Bobby Roode is not going to challenge Seth Rollins for the fucking championship. In theory, that's what it should be, but it's not. Let's be real about it. It's not. Not both Bobby Roode being Robert Roode, but hey, stranger things have happened, right? Yeah, but there was that. And this whole thing of, Braun blaming Rollins for losing the tag titles, and you see the look on their faces at the end of the whole thing. And I'll be real about it. I didn't really think that they would really pull the trigger on Ziggler and Bobby Roode being tag team champions, because to be real about it, Bobby Roode can do so much better. Like, they can do much better with Bobby Roode when you think about it, right? And the notion that they're just putting him and Ziggler, two guys, into like an impromptu team basically on the fly, and give them the belts. Yeah, very creative, guys. Very good shit, WWE. Good shit, pal. We then go on to the next match on the card. We had the Women's Championship match, the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. The crowd went crazy for Charlotte. Again, they're in North Carolina. They're in the Queen City, if you will. The match, I'll say this, like, I never seen Bayley get tossed around like she did here tonight against Charlotte. Right? Like, Charlotte hit like this big boot at the beginning of the match, just like in the Cedric match. Cedric hit a big move on Styles, and everyone thought, oh my god, that's it. And that's what you thought here as well. Almost, right? But again, fucking Charlotte just ragdolling Bayley around, beating her up. Imagine like a mom beating up a daughter for doing something stupid. Imagine that kind of a beating almost. But eventually, though, at the end of the match, it was kind of funny when you think about it, right? You had Charlotte Flair, like, talking to the referee, whatever, right? And you had Bayley, who's in the corner, just sitting there trying to, I guess, expose the bottom turnbuckle. And as Charlotte is grabbing Bayley, Bayley shoves Charlotte into the bottom to expose steel, the turnbuckle that's exposed, right? The exposed steel, and just pins Charlotte Flair for the 1, 2, 3. Like a short match, but yeah, Bayley took a beating, right? And she grabs the title and runs away. She runs like, I don't know, she had to take a shit or something almost. Like, she's been holding her, she had a fucking pee. She's been holding it in, and she just hauled ass with the belt. Like, we're slowly seeing that heel turn of Bayley. Like, yeah, they're not gonna just make. Yeah, we get it, she's a heel now, right? She's getting boos, but you're not gonna fucking make her a heel one day after not one day. No, it's gonna take a while, and we're seeing the stages, right? It's happening in front of your eyes. But nonetheless, the match was short. Like I said earlier, Cedric wasn't the only hometown person to lose in their hometown tonight. So was Charlotte Flair. And no, Charlotte Flair did not become Charlotte 10 times, but it didn't happen, which I'm cool with. I'm totally am. And I'll get into a little bit what I think will happen with all 4 women, but we'll see. We then get the tag team title match for the SmackDown tag team title. We have the Revival versus the New Day of Big E and Xavier Woods. This match, honestly, it was okay. It was an okay match. Like I said before, though, there's moments in this show where I was falling asleep, and this was part of that, where I was just falling asleep, and I rewatched a little bit as I'm watching the live feed here and there, and I thought this match was okay as well, for whatever it was worth. Just your usual stuff that you'll see from the Revival and the New Day. We've seen these guys wrestle before. You know what to expect. there's a moment I want to say where Big E, he gets hit with an enziguri, right? And I guess his head lands on the steel step or some shit like that. It didn't look good. Did not. Xavier was supporting a knee brace on his knee, selling that injury that he had a while ago from the revival. They hit the shatter machine on Xavier Woods, and they could have easily just gone for the 1, 2, 3, and that's it. But instead, the revival decide to rip, I guess the wherever the injury was that Xavier had, right, expose it out and lock in an inverted figure 4. And Xavier just screaming in pain. He's screaming in pain, right? But eventually, though, Xavier couldn't take it no more because there was so much pressure on that hold that he tapped out. He tapped, and the revival, who in theory, here you think about it, technically are a Raw tag team, right, from Monday Night Raw, are now the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So much for the fucking wild card rule, right? Thank God it's ending soon. But when you think about it too, the revival become the first team to win not just the NXT Tag Team titles, but they've also won the Raw Tag Team titles, and they've won the SmackDown Tag Team titles. They're triple crowns. When it comes to the tag team titles, they're triple crowns. So that's good on them. That's good on them. They then cut a promo after the match talking about how they're gonna, restore the tag team division and stuff like that, which is okay. Good heel heat. Why the fuck not? So there was that. We then had yet another one, another tag team title match. This time for the women's tag team title. We had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I didn't care for this match. I really did not. I was falling asleep again. All I know about this match is that Nikki Cross pinned Mandy Rose with a rope-assisted neck breaker to retain the championship. During this match, R-Truth ran into the ring, trying to escape the 24/7 division that almost got pinned by Bliss, but was able to escape into the crowd. Yeah, another thing too, like early in the show, there was an interview, right, with Alexa and Nikki, and I guess R-Truth and Carmel were posing off as camera crew people and shit like that. And Alexa grabbed the giant boom mic, right, and announced that R-Truth is on set. And you see everyone just chasing R-Truth, which is funny. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's fucking funny for whatever it's worth. Okay. We then get the Intercontinental Champion. We have the Intercontinental Championship match of The Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura, with Sami Zayn supporting a neck brace, selling the injury from The Undertaker. The match was okay. I said this before, one thing about Miz, and I think people, and I said this on the show on Friday on the Team Up podcast, that Miz, I get it. He is the definition of a WWE typical wrestler. But you put him out there, right, with your internet favorites, and he can get a good match. He can get you a good match. Granted, was this that amazing match? No, by no means at all, right? I want to believe that both Shinsuke and Miz can do better. That's my belief, right? But the match for what it was, it was an okay match. I enjoyed it for what it was. Miz hit a figure 4 leg lock. You had Sami outside trying to distract the referee. Eventually, Miz hit a skull-crushing finale. But the referee, again, distracted by Sami Zayn, which eventually led to Nakamura hitting a knee to the back of the head of the Miz and then hitting that Kinshasa for the 1, 2, 3. So Shinsuke is still the Intercontinental Champion. But again, I thought the match was okay. But again, Miz, like I said before, he can get you a good match with almost anyone on the roster. So there's that. But I do hope that these two guys can do better. But it does not look like this is going to be ending anytime soon. We then, from there, we go on to the Raw Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. I actually enjoyed this match. I even enjoyed the result, believe it or not. I know a lot of people kind of frowned on it. Oh, what the hell? It made no sense at all. But here's the thing. It made sense, though. You're not going to have, Sasha on her first pay-per-view back win the championship. But at the same time, she has momentum. You don't want her to lose that. Becky's the man, right? And you don't want to have the title, the reign end right now, even though it's felt like forever. I'm not going to lie on that. It has felt like forever. So you make it work. And these two women, I felt they went out there and made it work for them. They had a fight. It was a fight. It was back and forth, countering the disarmor, countering the bank statement. There's a moment in the match where Sasha went to the outside, grabbed the steel chair, threw it into the ring. The referee went to throw it out, and yet Sasha grabs a chair that's under the ring and hits Becky Lynch with it. Just again, it got to a point where Becky grabbed the chair and was gonna hit Sasha, but Sasha moved out of the way and hit the referee. And then this brawl began. They're brawling in the crowd. They're brawling concessions, just back and forth. You can just imagine, right? The referee drew the match out though, right? But then you see Becky just snapping and just hitting the steel chair on Sasha, right? And then grabbing the chair that was in the ring, and she puts Sasha's arm through the chair, hits the disarmor. You see Sasha screaming in pain. People trying to break it up, but there was that. So again, Becky loses by disqualification, but she's still the champion. And what this does, I feel like, again, you have them go at it again, maybe at Hell in a Cell, maybe inside the cell. Again, they already had one women's Hell in a Cell. You don't need another one. That's just my opinion. That being said, here's what I think could happen as well. Believe it or not, you have on the SmackDown side, right? Bayley and Charlotte going at it, right? And then you have on the Raw side, and again, this is fantasy booking. Take it for what it's worth, okay? And yet on the Raw side, you have Becky and Sasha going at it, right? What if, leading into the Survivor Series, you have people attacking all four women, and it's revealed that it's Ronda Rousey and the four horsewomen. So all this feuding gets them to join forces, even against their own will, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Again, this is just fantasy booking. Take it for what it's worth. I know it's corny now. I haven't really thought about it completely, but I think as we get close to it, I'll give more details on my thoughts on that. But again, just throwing it out there. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well. Give me your feedback on that one. Okay. We then go from that to apparently the Street Profits. They ran into King Booker backstage, and they wanted to get, I guess it was Dawkins who wanted to get knighted, but Booker T refused. So there's that. We get the WWE Championship match of Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. I thought this match was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The back and forth here. Let's be real about it. How many of you really thought that Orton was going to win after Orton hit that RKO from out of note, from literally just in the middle of the match? Like, oh my God, it's going to be over. But then Kofi's foot went on the bottom rope. I know I did. I thought it was going to be it. But they played everyone. Again, a match that you literally thought Orton was going to win. There's a moment in the match where Orton was going to go for the punt kick, which we have not seen in a long time. I know I haven't. I know you haven't either. And Kofi counters it into the Trouble in Paradise and for the 1-2-3, which I thought was pretty good. And granted, I know a lot of people are bored of the Kofi title run. I know I'm one of those people as well. But I think at the same time, you needed Kofi to get a win over a big name. Yeah, granted, he beat Bryan at WrestleMania. I get that. But that was to become the champ. But in order to, in a title defense though, like in order a name while he was champion, he needed that big name, and that being Randy Orton. And Orton and Kofi have history. So in a way, all is coming full circle. Awesome. I thought the match was good. I thought the ending was good as well. And you know what? I do think that Kofi's run does end the moment they hit on Fox. I guess on that first Fox episode, they do a title match. I think maybe if there's ever a moment where you want Kofi to lose the belt, it's probably on that Fox debut show. But We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. We then go from there to Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns. Granted, listen, I knew going into that match that my whole predictions were just fucked. I knew that already. And then you throw me this match, it's like, yeah, it's even worse. Right? Here's the thing. I didn't like the match. I really didn't. It felt like a very slow-paced, no disqualification match. They were brawling on the outside. They had a steel steps involved as well. Rowan hit an iron claw, right, onto the announcer's table. And then proceed to throw Roman Reigns into the ring for the 1, 2, 3. But Roman kicks out at 2. He kicks out. Which to me is like, keep this in mind. He kicks out just moments ago from being hit through the announce table with the claw. What the fuck? God damn, if this was the Young Bucks, you guys would lose your shit for it. I would think that would be amazing. But that's just around the point. They're brawling on the outside. And again, I just really wasn't big on this match. I really wasn't. Okay? You try to tell me that fucking garbage man's a fucking big deal now. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Roman proceeds to, I guess, run down the ramp onto Rowan. But then out of nowhere, Luke Harper shows up. Harper shows up from out of nowhere. And aligns himself with his former partner, Eric Rowan. And he helps Eric Rowan beat Roman Reigns. Now, here's my thing with this. I'm all for it, believe it or not, in some aspect. Because you can't, listen, Eric Rowan by himself, I don't buy. Eric Rowan with someone else, that being Luke Harper, I'm all for. Which makes me wish, honestly, if you really wanted someone to be the one to attack Roman Reigns, I wish it was Luke Harper and not Eric Rowan. I would have rather seen Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns 1,000 times more than Luke Harper. My bad, Eric Rowan, because Rowan does nothing for me. But that being said, who knows? Did Luke Harper sign a 5-year deal with WWE? The last time I remembered, Luke Harper wanted out from WWE. And they're paying him to sit at home. Now, it's something for him to do until his time runs up. But we shall see how all this is going to play out. We shall see, people. And then we get the main event. The main event, people. Not Roman and Rowan. No. The main event of the show. Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. For the Universal title. Seth Rollins carried Braun to the best singles match of his career thus far, in my opinion. Made Braun look like a fucking $1,000,000 here. Just a crazy back and forth. Rollins hit multiple curb stomps, multiple super kicks. Braun kicked out. There's a moment in the match where he kicks out before he even hit one. And Braun is overpowering Rollins too. They're making it seem like, oh my god, Braun Strowman, is this monster? He's impossible. Can Seth Rollins, who slayed the beast, can he slay the monster? Right? That's what they were saying throughout the entire match. And one thing I like too about this whole show, there's one little detail that I liked, and I didn't say this earlier, and it had like that NXT feel. Like when you watch TakeOver or NXT in general for a title match, they'll put the spotlight in the ring, they'll dim the lights, they'll put the spotlight in the ring and shit like that. I thought that was cool. I wish the main roster would do more of that. But then again, knowing the main roster, they would overkill it with that. But that's just around the point. Okay. But again, it's just a crazy back and forth. Freaking, like I said before, though, Braun Strowman kicked out of 3 curb stomps. Kicked out of 3 of them. But eventually, it took a super kick, a pedigree. When was the last time we seen Rollins hit a fucking pedigree? God damn it, yeah. And then another curb stomp for the 1, 2, 3. And Seth Rollins remains the Universal Champion. And remember when I just said a moment ago, they went the NXT route here. So you have Rollins just celebrating on the entrance ramp with the bell. They put the fucking credit, right, the lower third, and out of nowhere, the lights go off, and it's the Fiend behind Seth Rollins, and the place erupted. Holy shit, the fucking place went unglued. The internet lost their mind. I think at the same time, though, it was smart the moment where they placed the Fiend at the end of the show, right before they're about to end. Because you put him in the middle of the show. Like, if this match would have happened in the middle of the card and then the Fiend showed up, it would have been whatever. Have this match happen the way he did now, it was great. And it builds up again to the match that's going to take place at Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins and The Fiend. See you in hell. Inside Hell in a Cell. It's safe to say that The Fiend will probably be the new Universal Champion. How can they fuck this up? How can they fuck this up? I think someone on Twitter said, you know, seeing The Fiend, you're right, ready to lock in. Like, there's a photo. You watch the thumbnail of this video. It looks like the image of the devil and Jesus almost. Like, holy crap. Someone said that on Twitter. I shit you not. And I'm like, God damn, pal. You're not wrong on that one. But that was Clash of Champions. That was Clash of Champions. I look forward to now Hell in a Cell, believe it or not. Because one thing, too, about a pay-per-view, I feel like this should be that should be the objective of a pay-per-view. It should make me want to watch the show on Monday and look forward to the next pay-per-view. And it did that in a way. Granted, Clash of Champions, I'm going to say this right now again. I thought it was okay. I think memorable. But at the end of it, the important factors of the show, it made me want to look forward to Raw. Or maybe want to look forward to SmackDown. And hell, even Hell in a Cell. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Hopefully, WWE does the right thing. So there's that. But I do want to hear your thoughts on Clash of Champions, if you watched the show or not, and all that fun stuff. Also, kind of a little side note here, okay? Last night, I was at WrestlePro in Raleigh, New Jersey, at the Raleigh Rec Center. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard the news involving Big Cass and the incident that he had, and apparently with Pat Buck knocked out Big Cass, and he got arrested and shit like that. Here's the thing. I was at that show. Apparently, Big Cass was confronting Joey Janela, who was having his final WrestlePro match before he has to AEW. It was also SCU's final independent match before they all make the move to AEW on TNT. It was also Pat Buck's final match at WrestlePro. As you all know, Pat Buck is now a WWE producer. So apparently, Big Cass, I guess in the locker room, was just talking shit to Joey Janela and threatening him and shit, and they wanted him to calm down, but he wasn't. He wouldn't calm down. From what I heard, he spit in the face of Pat Buck. Dan Moff, who's like a legend in the Northeast, whatever, right? Got in Big Cass's face. Apparently, Big Cass accused people. He was accusing people in the locker room. Apparently he was accusing people because apparently someone stole his sweatshirt and all that stuff, right? All this led to, I guess, police showing up. Keep this in mind. The Rahway, again, I know a lot of you don't even live in Rahway. I used to live in Rahway, okay? So I've been to the rec center numerous times, okay? The Rahway Rec Center is literally a 1-minute walk from the police department. So the cops are there regardless. Now, what I'm amazed that no one live at that building caught an eye about this. Apparently, Pat Buck, at the end of the match, got on the mic. He did mention Big Cass and Enzo in a shoot, and no one wondered. And people wondering why. What the fuck happened? And then I come home, I go on the dirt sheets, and I read what happened. Like, wow, it's sad. It really, really is sad. Here's a guy in Big Cass who we all thought, okay, he's cleaning up his act. There are talks of WWE might want to bring him back up, and apparently AAA shot that down. But again, things happen, right? And then you hear this, and it's sad. It really, really is sad. Because believe it or not, I was cheering for Big Cass. I really was. And I hear this, like, bruh, what the fuck, man? But yeah, there's that. Guys, give me your thoughts on what I just said about Big Cass and this whole WrestlePro thing. if you were at the show and all that stuff, your thoughts on Clash of Champions, your thoughts on the Fiend, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. I want to give a big thank you to the homie himself for this awesome video overlay that you see for Around the Point. That is the amazing Salrex. And if you are a YouTuber, if you are a podcaster, and you want awesome graphics, awesome overlays done for your YouTube channel, your podcast, hit the man up on Twitter today. That is at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you, and he will do amazing stuff for you. Believe me, he will. He absolutely is, in my opinion, the best graphic designer in the IWC. That's going to be it for me, guys. I got to sleep. I have work tomorrow morning. But nonetheless, guys, thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Use that hashtag on the bottom right there. Hashtag ATPoint. And as always, guys, hate, comment, and subscribe. And this has been Around the Point.